And we're possibly live, going to be double checking that very, very shortly. This is Pair of Geeks 2, the live play channel where you can watch this episode for as long as we keep it PG. What tends to happen with this game though is we tend to have to adult rate it midway through, and then you might get kicked off if you're not signed into YouTube. Sorry about that, but it goes downhill very quickly with these players. Having said that, we all had a little chat and we decided we didn't like Phil, got rid of him, and now we've got this new guy over here. Don't know who the fuck, what his name is, no idea. He just turned up. Yeah, he's replacing Phil. New guy now, whoever that is. Right, so let's introduce you to the players. Let's start with new guy.
Hello, I'm New Guy. I'm playing Angus Blackwood Melton, who's going to claw his way to the top of the corporate ladder. Chin's too light now, so the mouth doesn't work properly.
I'm just not getting used to this.
Corporate ladder.
Corporate.
Yeah.
The corporate ladder.
I'm just, oh, my microphone's playing silly buggers. Sorry about that. Right, yeah. We don't know. We'll see how long new guy lasts. We might get Phil back. Alright. Jason.
Yo, my name's Jason. I'm playing Xerxes Polynices, who is very good at shooting things two-handed and just being overall very sassy and awesome.
And Ronnie.
Hi, it's Ronnie here. I am playing Lord Percival Chamberlain, who, if he's managed to secure himself a special, wonderful skill at all, it's the ability to screw things up right royally that allows Xerxes lots of things to then shoot at.
Now, when last seen, one of you, it was Lord.
Yep.
You had opened the door to the toilet on an airship that's travelling from the moon in a race. The toilet had within it a person known in history as Adolf Hitler, but has just revealed to you that it's all an act and his real name is Jason.
And I would like to say to the camera just one thing of clarification from the GM's introduction. Whilst it is true that these players can indeed go to some strange places which sometimes require an adult rating, it's usually because the GM has laid down the pathway to get there.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yep, that is true.
Well said.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very well behaved.
Oh, let me list the ways. Right. So, why the change of name,
Oh, well,
Jason?
when we were looking at taking over Europe, it just did not seem right. That Jason's not a very aggressive name, you know, it's... yeah. And we didn't feel it worked with the persona. Whereas Adolf, it's much more aggressive. So then we decided that we would, do that and then change the name. Easy.
So, are you really Jason Hitler?
No. No. Don't be ridiculous. Who would have a name like Hitler? No. My real name, my last name, of course, is Groen. Groen.
Yes. You do sound like you're clearing your throat.
Yeah, it's French, I think. I'm not very good with these languages. I was going to make them all speak German.
So, just out of sheer historical curiosity, because I'm sure this will come up when they ask me why you suddenly have a bullet in you. What's with all the killing? the camps and...
As the Earth was overpopulated, it was going to break and everyone would die. We had to come up with a solution.
And what? You saw that the UK had Butlins holiday camps and you went for something similar?
Well, the UK invented the concentration camp in the Boer
Yes, it's
War.
called Butlins and Pontins, but that's...
No, in the Boer War. Sorry, you were saying?
Right. Right. I have two problems right now, Monsieur Grun.
Oh, call me Adolf, everyone does.
Alright, Addy. I have two problems right now. One, I have this urge to shoot you on the toilet, except that I have a feeling George R.R. Martin might actually do me for plagiarism. And secondly, I feel it's only fair that I at least let you finish your business. You know, get it out your system before I get what I need out of my system.
Why do you want to shoot me? What have I done? It's just trying to save the world.
Yes. But your methods have, there's less tea involved.
It was either that or Churchill was going to do forced sterilization.
That's what we need to do. Stay right there. Don't move. I'm going to lock him in.
But I didn't even tell you what Joseph suggested.
You can tell me when I come back. I won't be long.
Also, the lock's on the inside, you idiot.
I'm going to put something heavy up against the door.
I'll be a while. I'm
I
busy,
don't
you
care.
know.
Did he have too much bratwurst?
Right. I go and find my compatriots.
Did you find Adolf then?
Yes. At the moment, he is answering a call of nature.
What, is
Which-
having shit?
Yes.
Perfect. We can kill him.
I think we can.
Well, come on then. He's not going to take forever to do it. Come on. I know, sort of cut my gun up.
Well, I just wanted to get everyone's on board with it.
You hear the sound of excruciating pain from the toilet.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, he may be slightly constipated.
It does sound rather much like that. Yes.
Okay. Do we need some kind of gas mask?
It shouldn't really be a problem.
Should
all
we set
we
off an
need-
explosive charge in there?
All we need is a match.
A match.
There should be enough methane being built up under him. We just have to drop a match into that bowl and we will blow him to kingdom come.
I thought you were going to go and shoot him anyway.
Yes, and there's a part of me that says that shooting him will be quick and efficient and effective, and then there's a part of me that just thinks that blowing him off a toilet seat would be really funny. I want to...
Just trying to work out if that would work in physics. Like, he's not a cow. Or is he? Is he turned out to be a cow in disguise?
And
Well,
do they allow
He
matches
says
on
his real name is Jason Grun.
Wait, what?
Says
His real
Adolf.
name.
Says Adolf Hitler's a stage name thing. Goes with the image.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I'm sure I remember from school days, the old book said he was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler did not have a stage name. That was his name. He was Austrian or something, whatever it was back then, before the borders changed around.
Plus, he's trying to claim that what he was actually doing when he was massacring millions of people.
Well, of course, he's going to
Saving the world.
make an excuse. You know, we make excuses all the time when we massacre people.
It has to be said, Becky. We are going back to as we are having this conversation. We are walking back to the toilets as we're having this conversation. We are not standing still and then going.
Right.
This is happening in transit, whilst he's in a delightful amount of constipated pain.
Yes, but at least when we kill people, it's for the good of the world. It's for tea. It's for Dashwoods.
Well, you see, that was my complaint to him. That what he did was just lacking in tea and civility. I was going to kill him right there and then, but I thought I would clear it with you two first.
So basically, if we kill him by blowing him up with his own flatulence, that's okay because it involves tea.
We could use tea.
It involves comedy, more right?
What's wrong with just an old pistol bullet to the head? You know, these aren't great, but at point blank range, in a toilet, still easy peasy.
Very well. Let's just shoot him then.
I suppose if you wanted to blow him up afterwards, it would be quite funny because he'd be dead, so he'd sort of go around like a rag doll.
I suppose we could blow him out the airlock or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and then his body would be untraceable, at least for now. But we need to do it because we're on the move.
Yeah, right. We get to... We're as soon as we're back at the bathroom,
Okay.
we get to his stall.
Yeah. And you unblock the door, and it's now locked.
Go to the next stall.
It's just one thing.
I'll just put the fucking thing open.
Okay, you start kicking at the door. But this is a Nazi-engineered door made of cast iron. It's going to take a little while to bash that lockdown. One moment, says Hitler.
Is there any way to just climb up on top and shoot from above?
Monsieur Grün?
Yeah?
I could hear that you were having some difficulty. We do have I have brought a laxative that may be helpful to you.
Bear with me, I'm just putting a spacesuit on.
Did you say spacesuit?
He said spacesuit. The little bastard's going to try and get out of the...
Sure, that's the toilet and not an airlock. He's not...
Okay, in terms of how the door is it... I know it's cast iron, but are there any sort of gaps underneath?
No, no. It's actually important there isn't for what I have planned. So, no, it's a sealed door. And that's been done because, you know, Nazi officers notorious for flatulence and rich diets, And you're entering it from the bay where the troops would have been in the airship. So they sealed the door off just to make the ride more pleasant.
But is there, a gap at the top?
No, the door's hermetically sealed.
It's literally, for fuck's sake, wow.
Yeah.
Hardcore toilet.
Over-engineered for a toilet.
Okay, right. What I say, I cock up the gun, I say in the speaker, okay, quite simple. I just stand right by the door, and then when he opens it, I shoot him in the head so that even if he does try to escape, helmet's punctured.
Okay. Nearly ready! And then there's some knocking as he's clearly moving in a confined space and stuff. And then you hear the lock unbolt.
Yep.
In fact, I use both my guns, I just put them both out.
I also have my gun out.
Not taking any chances.
Can I just try and remember back? Have we killed everyone else on the ship?
I thought there were a couple more.
There's a pilot, and actually you only technically killed 2 people, but we can gloss over some of that later. So, yes, the door is now, you think, unbolted from the inside.
I wait for him to open the door. I can't shoot him otherwise.
Okay, he has not opened the door.
When you were talking to him earlier, Lord Percival, was there another exit to the toilet he was in?
No, it was a single cubicle.
No exit.
Conveniently enough, an emergency spacesuit in it.
Obviously behind the door, so Lord Percival didn't see it.
Yeah, it's hanging on the back or something.
Okay, is there a keyhole?
No.
So
Okay,
it's just like a
just a
bolt.
handle.
Okay.
Does the door open into the cubicle or out from it?
It's going to have to be pulled for you, I think, given what he's done. So.
Pulled. Okay,
If you
right.
asked me last session, it would have been different.
Right. So, I'm going to go to the side, so I can open the door and give Xerxes a clear shot.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in the way of the door. I'm going to the side and pulling it open.
Got ya. New guy, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be standing sort of like, so when Lord Percival opens the door, are we behind the door effectively when it's open?
Okay. You try to pull on the door, but this is hard. It's really hard. You're going to need help.
Okay, I'll give him a hand. I'll grab 2 hands on the handle. Is it like a big D handle?
Yeah. Okay. What is your combined strength?
Extremely good question.
Mine's a 6.
Mine's a 5.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a door opens slightly and it just sucks back.
Ooh, that doesn't sound too good to me.
No, it doesn't.
Would there be a vacuum on the other side of this door?
If so, we probably don't want to open the door.
I don't think we can open the door.
No, but even if we could,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Is there a window in this room or sort of nearby?
I'll give you a porthole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because at this point, obviously, I wasn't there for the conversation between Lord and Hitler, so I'm convinced that he's left somehow, or maybe he's opened up the toilet and escaped through there or something. So I'm going to rush to the window and just see if he's escaped off in like a little longboat ship or something.
But what you do see is a trail of toilet roll.
There's a trail of toilet roll, guys. He's gone.
He's flushed himself.
He's flushed himself.
Damn
it, Lord, why didn't you see that before?
He said he was Adolf Hitler. He said he was Jason Glynn. He didn't say he was an Andrex bloody puppy.
No, he's escaped through the toilet.
When I knew that this man was a shit, I didn't think he was going to take it literally.
Constipated my arse.
Well, if we can...
Well, that's usually where constipation happens.
Well, perhaps if we can get hold of the control room, we can perhaps chase him down still.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's used some kind of suit, parachute. Because there's no way that there could be a fucking parachute in there as well as a spacesuit. Right, control room now.
Okay, you head up to the control room. You go through the galley. Do you kill the people in there on the way?
Yes, let's go
Okay,
shooting.
Yeah.
they die. There were people sitting down for food. You kill all of them. All that's left on board, as far as you know, is the pilot and the co-pilot behind another door. And you open the door. There they are, flying the thing. There's lots of levers and buttons, and it looks far too complicated, given that they're just flying straight through space for several million miles. They're pressing buttons, turning knobs.
Yeah, I hold my finger up so to say don't shoot. And I say, Masmika, I know fuck all about piloting, except for that one time when I went in a moth for my birthday. So we need to keep them alive so they can fly this thing.
Agreed.
Okay. Perhaps we can convince them to tell us if they can find a Hitler outside somewhere. Excuse me, Mr. Pilot. Is there anything close? I thought I saw something out of one of the portholes.
This is a gravitational well. Does suggest we are trading. Looks like what do you call them? Ship tickets. The gravitational pull on the port side of the vessel.
I'm going to sort of pretend as if I've sort of rushed in or not make myself known until that point and say, you gotta turn the ship around. Hitler's made a jump.
What? No, he'll be in the toilet.
No, I checked the toilet. He's not in there. I saw him falling.
Nine. If he had gone out of the loo, which I suppose technically is possible if you hold the flash down, then he would have died in the vacuum of space.
No, I can assure you, we're pretty convinced that not only is he wearing a spacesuit.
Yeah, he did say something about spacesuit.
He's managed to grab onto something soft, strong, and very, very long.
Not possible. The helmet's too big to get through the toilet.
Check the radar.
If the Fuhrer's overboard, we need to find him.
Radar? What is that?
Check your space sonar.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Space sonar. I forgot it was the 40s, not the 60s.
If we could do an active ping.
You did get your ping activated.
Okay, if we will do a ping. Boom! Oh look, the ship tickets are echoed back. Oh, and there's the other ship with Her Majesty on.
Oh, this
Oh,
No,
Stone Age technology.
there's no floating Hitler out there.
haven't you got a camera or something that looks backwards?
A camera? What, like from the movies? The celluloid?
If you like anything. You're meant to be Germans. You're meant to be technically advanced and way ahead.
We are. We build spaceships.
Without cameras.
What is these cameras? Like a movie with the celluloid?
Remember in the
Or
40s?
photography?
Yes, he means photography.
We have no darkroom on board, but I suppose you could do it outside. If you're very
Do you-
spacesuit.
Do you have a way? do you have a way to look at the bow, starboard, and port views from here in the bridge?
No. But you could put on a spacesuit and have a look outside of the vessel.
Why do I know I am going to regret the next question that gets asked?
Where are the nearest suits?
Yep.
Oh, the crew in the galley was wearing them. You know, because they might have been, they just felt safer traveling in the suits.
Yeah, that's the point. Are we able to see the talking about a character? Are we able to see the Queen and her ship from here?
Well, yeah, on the active ping it echoed back there. We are currently leading by 30 meters. Oh wait, sorry, that's kilometers. Space is big.
30 kilometers. Okay.
I suppose we will go outside and have a look.
I'm gonna stay in here for now, just in case something goes wrong.
You return to the scene in the galley, which looks like it's straight out of a Geiger movie, with the a dozen Nazi soldiers splattered all over the walls of the airship.
Okay. Well, we're not going to put together a couple of decent suits out of this lot. Something that's not too ripped or blood-stained.
You did use a lot of ammunition, in fairness, you know. It was room clearance.
Can we find enough to put together at least one suit?
I tell you what, I might make you, if you can do a roll with intelligence and, you know this is mechanical, don't you? You know what skill that is?
Oh.
Intelligence and mechatronics.
That thing we're all so good at.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to keep using that skill until one of you gets it.
Oh dear. No, I missed, but only just.
Yeah, there aren't.
What
any
is
good
it?
suits.
Intelligence and...
Mechatronics.
Oh, balls. Oh.
But seeing as Phil failed, I put a -4 on it. Sorry,
Right.
new guy. I'm just not used to it not being Phil.
He's
All
got
I-
the same bottle though.
I have.
He
Thank
stole
you
it
much.
from Phil.
All I can say is,
A worthy replacement. Yeah, I agree.
with that -4, I went from spectacular failure to really spectacular failure.
Yeah. So you damage a couple of the suits that might have been good as you're searching through trying to find a good one. So there's no suits left. Nonetheless, whilst you are searching, you hear a noise from the toilet. Somebody moving about.
Right,
The
head
same
down.
toilet.
Yeah, there's only one on the ship.
Head to it, straight to it.
Yep.
Okay, you get to the door.
If we listen closely, he's coming back in.
He's taking a piss.
He's flushed all his options.
It's all this toilet humour. It can't stop.
Should we try the same plan again then? With Xerxes and his 2 pistols.
Well, Xerxes is in the cockpit still.
Oh, damn. You see how stands a chance of hitting anything.
Unless you would have, I know, called me after the suit problems.
Is there an intercom
Metagaming.
anywhere, like on the wall
You have
somewhere?
sneakers.
We have speakers.
Oh, yeah, I keep getting that. Yeah, so I'll call you up. We think he's coming back in. It sounds like they're repressurizing the toilet.
Okay. I come back.
Okay. What do you guys do in the meantime? Are you waiting for the door to open? Are you going to hold it shut till he gets there? Or?
I suppose we could, if it does open, we could both have a shot at him. So
Yeah, I'll have a gun ready.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll have guns ready, and just in case.
The door opens by an inch just as Xerxes is getting into the same room as you and is on his way over to your side. And it opens by about an inch.
Okay. No more. It's an inch and stops.
Yeah, an inch and then it stops.
I'll just signal to Xerxes as he's coming in.
I just kind of stop where I am.
Can we sort of step back out of the way as well,
Yeah.
so you can't see anybody if he's peeking through the...
And it's a standoff.
How heavy would you say that door was?
Now that the toilet is apparently pressurised, it's just a cast iron door, so it's quite heavy, but you can move it, you know.
How about moving with the mind?
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll put it... I'm such a good metallurgist here, honestly, I have no idea. I'm gonna say 12 kilos.
Okay. I sneak up to Lord and say, do you want me to force the door open or do you want to?
I'll open it physically because you're just a better shot than I am.
I would think the telekinesis would give us the element of surprise. if
Yeah,
he
but
sees
I
you-
I don't have telekinesis.
I thought you did.
No.
Sure, one of you
I've
two
just-
had it as well.
I've got it at 1.
Oh, okay. In that case, ignore me. I'll still try and sort of pull it open really fast.
So you're gonna pull the door open, Xerxes.
Yes.
And the other two are ready with guns, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so that's your statement of intent. Let's have initiative.
Um, 15.
13 from me.
17.
Okay. Xerxes yanks open the door. New guy, what do you do?
If I see something, I'm going to shoot at it.
You see Hitler stood right next to the flush, about to flush it.
Shoot him.
Go for it.
That is 15. And, ooh, you have to remind me what it is again.
Okay, you
First
are
combat, isn't it?
new, so
No.
let me explain. So 2d10 under the AT of your weapon. It's a rate 3 weapon, so you roll that 3 times, and for each time you succeed, that's a hit. So you do a damage roll for it, which will be a d8.
7 and 15, 7 and 8. So that's 2 hits.
Okay, so roll 2d8 damage.
2d8. 5 and a 7.
Okay, so 12 damage in total. So, you open up as the door opens, hitting some random pipe, probably not important, although, strangely enough, there is a sudden jolt in the airship at the moment you strike it. Then the second and third 3rd shot spray across Hitler's chest. he screams in pain as he crashes down onto the flush, sucking you all through the toilet in a near instant.
That sucks.
You lose sight of Hitler as his head is bobbling around in the loo above you, until he eventually manages to release his grip. You go hurtling through space. You're in extreme pain and agony. No.
Space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah. It's more like it. When the next thing you know, I don't know, are you aware of how fast things move in space? Like, you know, a spaceship. It's quite quick. So, the next thing you know, you are hit by a colossal force as the airship being piloted by the Queen comes straight into you. Anyway, a couple of years later, there you are in a big chamber, very, very large chamber. It's arranged in kind of like a circle with seats all the way around, and in each of those seats are various people. They've got headsets on and microphones on their desk and stuff. And you're kind of stood in the middle of the circle, just off to one side of it, in a little kind of wooden box. And you've got little microphones, no headset. And there's somebody sat on the far wall, who's also, you know, headset, microphone and stuff, just by themselves, sort of like where the centre of the room points towards. So if you imagine this circular room has a circular clearing in the middle, with a person in the middle behind a big desk, and then you're by a sort of smaller wooden desk within that clearing. And the person in the middle says, I understand that's how Hitler got to this century. What I'm less certain about is how the incident happened, the London incident. If you could clear that up for us, just because, I mean, I've read your testimonies several times and I still don't understand how exactly you blew up London. And we go back to the space journey a few years previous. And you're approaching Earth on the airship with Her Majesty the Queen. It's going to be so fun getting back to Daddy and killing him off so I can be Queen. And now that I've got Hitler with me as a friend, I can just make the whole country fascist and rule it myself. Oh, wonderful. And you're about, a couple of kilometres behind the Hitler airship. And you've kind of recovered from your injuries a few weeks previous as you were flown through space and you're approaching Earth. And there you are, you're on this spaceship, you've got another 10 Nazi soldiers on this ship, Her Majesty the Queen, or the future Queen rather, and you're chasing Hitler's airship. Over to you guys. Won't it be fantastic? I want to land right on the lawn of Buckingham Palace.
Oh, bollocks.
These airships, are they armed?
They're not armed per se, but if you recall, the way they were designed was as they coming in, you basically jump out with a parachute, and then they were designed to be basically a nuclear bomb.
Yeah. I just wonder if we can get a head start somehow.
They've got to have parachutes on board.
Yes.
Yep. So we need to nick those pronto so we can actually get off this damn thing, especially as there's like 10 Nazis.
Mm.
So...
We still need to get the Queen, or we still need to take the Queen back, don't we, though? We need to get her off as well.
But we also need parachutes.
Yeah.
So if we get 4 parachutes...
And destroy the rest, I should take care of the 10 Nazis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering... I'm going to sort of casually stroll up to the ping machine thing.
Oh, the sonar, yeah.
The sonar. And while I can't stand out-of-date technology to this degree, I start wondering, is it possible to, with my hacking skills, although I haven't got any equipment with me, to potentially manipulate it so we basically, how's the best way to describe this? It exaggerates the distances at which things are. So, as in, we can get to the ground much closer without it pinging.
You could create interference extremely easily, you think. That would just make the tool useless. They don't actually use it that often, though, you notice.
Do they use anything else?
Or reset the calibration.
Well, Earth they can see.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they've got a screen that's, like, ahead of them. But the sonar thing is kind of, you know, it's sonar on a submarine, so, you know, pings out, things bounce back. So you could certainly very easily disrupt the signals when they do it. And they do it occasionally to keep track of the other airship.
What are we, just asking Jason, what is it you're hoping for?
Well, the first thing was to basically allow us to approach the ground more before the Nazis think, oh, we should jump out before we get killed. To buy some more time.
Instead of going for the sonar, see if you can smack the altitude, the altimeter. It's bound to have one. If you can recalibrate that to make it look like it's further away than it is, we'll get closer without them wondering. If we can hack the altimeter.
Is separate on the computer. Oh, God. But yeah, sounds like a good idea.
That's my thought.
That way, the Nazis will not. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. The altimeter currently reads 383,000 K.
Yeah. It's so that way the Nazis aren't thinking, no, we need to jump out, let's go and grab the parachutes, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to recalibrate it.
Okay. Right. Let's have... unfortunately, it absolutely is mechatronics. It's not computers and AI, it predates them. It's mechanical and electronic. Mechatronics. So yeah, intelligence plus mechatronics.
Okay. I fail by 4.
Okay. Yeah. You realise that there's redundancy here. There's like 4 gauges, and you're like, oh no, I don't know. Ooh, because even if you knock one out, then there's 3 more.
Is there any way to just cause interference a bit later on?
Well, they're a very simple, crude circuit, and each one is a closed system. You could just break them, but they'd see you doing it.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. another idea. If there was a way to say snip wire or something like that.
Try and distract them for you if you can do that.
The problem is you'd have to do it in the cockpit. You'd
Yeah.
have to pull panels out.
Mhm.
Hence the failure by 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I nod. I nod at Augustus and say, yeah. Okay. You can try. I'll be as quick as I can.
So I've got to the or is it like a pilot and navigator, or?
Yeah, well there's a pilot and a co-pilot of some kind. So, yeah. Whilst you're just setting up, just briefly, the Queen comes in. Right, gentlemen, we're still behind the Hitler ship. It's a race, remember? We need more steam.
Yes, very true. Schnell, schnell.
Steam. Very advanced thorium reactor.
Well, more thorium then.
More thorium. Throw more thorium on the burners.
Yeah.
I'll be leaning over the pilot's shoulder going, come on, faster, what's this do? What about that? What about pushing that switch?
What are you doing with the controls?
Go faster!
This is the fastest speed. Unless we take a risk.
Take a risk!
Take a risk! This is for honor, my God, this is for honor!
If the Queen wishes it. Yes,
What would
I
the-
do.
What would the Fuhrer say if he thought you weren't doing your best?
Well, very well. We shall press the go faster button. Ding.
The go faster button?
It's a reactor. It's not a coal engine. You primitive.
Wow.
I take a small moment to sort of, you know, the eyes sort of widen to marvel at the concept.
Within 30 minutes we will be traveling much faster.
I'm sort of taking a glance every so often at where they're looking, if there's any way I can just sort of do it very quickly, or would it have to still be like literally unscrewing opening panels and...
If you're going to hack it, then yeah, you couldn't do it in this environment.
What about
If you're going to
breaking?
break it, if you come up with a plausible explanation for some accidental trip or something.
Coffee.
Yeah, are there any loose objects in here?
Yeah, loads.
Okay, in that case I cast my eye around for an object that would be heavy enough to break it, and I use telekinesis.
Okay, there's a radio packed in a corner in a metal case.
Mm-hmm.
An old 40s radio, so you know, quite large.
Okay, and I say to Augustin the Speaker, cause the ship to briefly jerk or something with the steering.
Okay, so I'll be standing on one side of the pilot and I'll say, your pen's going to fall off the console, and I'll lean right across them.
Okay.
Block their view. And
Oh, not your
hand.
pen! Surely your
Your
teeth were
pen!
important.
Okay, and presumably
And when
then
that-
you're going
when
to
that happens-
telekinesis.
yeah.
So knock off with many telepathy points that is. And
Yeah.
the radio goes flying into the altimeters, all 4 of them, smashing the screens, breaking the needles off. And then it crashes to the floor, opens up, and rolls onto the floor, and switches on. Seriously? Will one of you pick up? We have no crew over here. Why do you not respond? This is an emergency, says Jason Groen. We don't know how to stop the ship. We think the people in the reactors are all killed. We don't know how to turn the reactor off.
I rush over to the radio to try and turn it off as quickly as possible. But I'm going to try and make out that it's like a Führer drill, as if like it's a pre-recorded tape or something.
Okay, you hurriedly turn the radio off, and as the pilot's looking, what was that? That sounded like the Führer.
Yes, it was the Führer, and I've just found, and I hopefully either pull something out or kind of shut the tape and say that there was a pre-recorded tape in there. It just came on. I'm so sorry.
You mean we had entertainment the whole time? There was radio plays?
No,
We've
it
been
was
on
a
this
it was
ship
a
for
drill.
2 weeks. A drill?
Yes, it was one of those pre-recorded drills. As if you were never given you a pre-recorded drill before.
9.
We were each presented with a very small tape, which is a pre-recorded drill. And at a certain point in our training, we had to play it.
May I
And
see
it would
your
be the
tape?
Führer himself. So I get out something from the future.
Right. Your comms device or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
top secret though.
I do
So
not understand what that was. A little piece of metal, so what? That did not look like a reel of tape.
It was a tape. But we have special devices to play on.
Would you
Mini
care?
radios.
I would like to hear that.
Okay. I look to the others as I sort of take the radio over and put it down on the console.
Well,
Okay, I look in the radio. Am I able to spend a conviction point to say it can be any tape that you want? So I don't know, it could be fucking Lottie Lenya if you want. But can there be a tape in there?
a tape. Well, the radio wouldn't have a tape because 1940s, you know, tapes
1940s.
unreal. But you could spend the conviction point to set something up as if you planned this excuse, and maybe you've got a recording. If you're blowing a conviction point, bear in mind you're never going to get it back. Do you have any left?
I've got 2.
I thought you used yours.
I
Aren't they
did it.
2 used ones?
did it one, but they might be, but I haven't. I've rubbed them out once, and then put them back. So maybe I haven't got any. I know that we've never replenished them, have we?
No.
No. Then no, I wouldn't.
What do you
Yeah,
put
I
your
would.
comms device going, and one of us will go into the next room and do our best Hitler impression over it.
You know what? Look, I tell you what. If somebody else blows a conviction point, you can pull up a recording of Hitler from the World Data Net because you're just about.
I'll
close
take
enough. Okay.
I'll take the hit.
So you pull up a recording of the Munich speech or something, and they all immediately salute.
It's okay. He's not actually in the room. It's a drill.
Of course, we are aware how the cinematography things work. It's a recording on the devices for the film and movie theatre.
So we each got a tape that said a speech by the Führer, as if he was in trouble, and we would have to act accordingly to pass our training.
Oh, I see.
It's a very common thing in the SS Hitler Youth Glider command.
Wow, you guys have personal messages from Hitler.
We're just that good.
All we got is hand-me-down religious literature. From our many generations of living on the moon.
Well,
we call
you
it
know.
the Bible. The Bible camp.
Private camp. Well, there was a Christian.
Indeed, Catholic.
Yep.
Right. So the automata smashed, they've accepted the excuse, and you are now aware that Hitler is in a lot of trouble. Is there anything else you want to do on board this airship before you parachute out of it?
I think, yes, actually, if we could covertly contact Hitler ourselves without any of the crew knowing.
You could take the radio into the toilet.
Okay.
Yes.
It'd be a bit cramped. There's only one spacesuit.
And
Would it not be possible to tune our speakers into the radio?
Interesting. Now you know it's broadcasting. You've got a radio to get a rough idea of frequencies. I'm going to go with yes. Yes, you could.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Might as well do that then.
Okay.
I want to pretend to be one of the crew from the ship and explain to him how to stop the reactor, but actually get him to push the go faster button.
Why won't one of you pick up? Mayday! Mayday! SOS! There is no way to stop this ship from exploding.
Hello, mein Führer!
Ah, finally! Finally! Oh,
We have the answer for you!
Yes. Tell
what
him.
is it?
Tell.
Next to the pilot seat, upper left corner, there's a green button.
It says zoom zoom.
That's the one. It stops the zoom going into the.
Yes,
zoom.
it speeds up the process of stopping the engine.
Right, and press it. And press anything at this point.
Excellent, mein Führer. See you on the other side.
What do you mean that they've sped up? I thought we were about to overtake them. Go faster! Go faster! But we
Obviously,
cannot give it
Your
any more
Majesty.
without risk now of the ship exploding. I don't care. I'm not losing to Adolf. Very well.
Obviously,
We'll push the triple zoom button. Oh shit.
Scheiße.
Okay, we can still want this. Do we see where this triple zoom
Oh yeah.
button is?
You see the
Right,
triple zoom button. You also, incidentally, can see looming quite large in the windscreen is the Atlantic Ocean as the Earth spins in front of you.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do. We obviously I sort of nod to my compatriots and say, we need to go now. And then
Yes, we do, I say.
Oh look, there's Island coming up.
I then
Who's
get
doing the
back
princess?
into. I then get back into the. Get back on the comms to Zethula and tell him congratulations for pressing the first necessary button in slowing down the engines. You now have to press, and I give him the how to press the super zooms, triple zoom, and that stop your engines dead.
Okay. Ah, very well. I shall press it now. Oh
Okay.
no. Oh no.
By the time he realizes that thing's fucked him, he'll be fucked.
It's a good job I still have spacesuit. I'm going to jump out at high altitude. There's only one spacesuit left. I'm sorry for the crew. I tried to save them.
Yeah. Xerxes, how good a
Yes.
shot are you?
Are you kidding? I've got a handgun, not a sniper rifle. I can't shoot him from here.
There's an almighty crash
What time do we leave him?
Yeah, we gotta get the hell.
I mean, like your ship shakes. Something just went seriously wrong.
Okay.
Let's get the hell. Let's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one shepherd said to the other, let's get the flock out of here.
And as we grab our, if we throw the extra suits out.
Yep. Who's taking the princess?
Well, you're the one with the charms, Xerxes.
Not for a 16-year-old girl. Come on. I'm a very selective sugar daddy.
Princess? Queen to be?
Yes.
Yes.
Hitler sped up again. Press another
Yes, you can.
button. Press them all.
We've found a way to beat him.
Yeah. Right.
You see, he's going to take several minutes trying to slow his ship down. Meanwhile, we're going to parachute down, and we will land on London first.
Right.
Therefore, he will win the West.
Right. On the lawn of Buckingham Palace, yes?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. Okay. What was that racket, by the way?
That's the ship giving its all. It's literally, it's tearing itself apart for you. But we're going to parachute while they fix the ship. Oh.
Right. And you all put on high altitude spacesuits and parachutes, yeah? And jump out.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Royal.
As you open up the back of the ship, you realise that this ship has long since lost control, the one you're in. And it is tumbling down to Earth with a gigantic space station that it appears to have collided with on the way.
Okay. If I can, I'm going to inject myself with my last neuropromine
Okay.
shot, just to up my reflexes if needs be, because this is going to be bumpy.
Okay. As you jump out the back of the airship, you realise this is the orbital station. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Is it Military or something? Incorporation?
Oh, I don't know.
Vastag?
No, Vastag's the planet.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
theme
yeah.
park
You already
planet.
blew that up.
Where else?
Yeah. There's I'm going to try and get it right. We're going to blow up all of the lore elements from Corporation in the course of this campaign. So why not? You see, the Nazis didn't know that in the meantime space debris had happened. They just flew straight through it. I want to know the name of it. Right. No, I'm not finding it with random page turning. God damn it. Must be here somewhere. There you go. Right, on Vastag. What's it? Military. Yes, Off-World Bioresearch. I wonder who owned that. Yeah, that stuff ain't meant to come back down to Earth. That was why they built it. So, yeah, you're tumbling earthward towards the lawn of Buckingham Palace. You pull your parachutes, as does the princess, and start floating down, watching your airship, Hitler's airship, and the Miller Urey Space Research Complex tumbling down after it all. The first thing to impact the ground is Hitler's airship. It does not explode. For all the brilliance of this piece of Nazi engineering, they completely failed to realise that thorium reactors' explosion point would be 1300 degrees, and there's not enough temperature in the impact to detonate the fuel core. The second thing to impact was your airship. Actually, I think it's 1384 degrees, but don't quote me. The third thing to impact is the Miller Urey space station, full of very, very hot fusion reactors, some of them hotter than the sun. And they land on the thorium reactors. And they lose containment.
So were we so responsible not only for blowing up London, but causing France to be a wasteland?
I know that had already happened before the adventure.
Okay, but even so...
Yeah, no, you're responsible for London being a wasteland. That's the last thing you see, of course, because the flash of white is so bright. It takes actually a month or so for the nanobots to rebuild your eyes.
Hey.
And at that point, let's pause for a drink and cigarette break and be back in 5 minutes. Or so. Or,
I would just like to say that we've managed to keep it family friendly so far, but you're really making it difficult. Oh.
right, I think it's only for the second half. Okay. Yeah. damn it, I've lost my video feed. I'm working on it. Haha! Success! No, I've frozen. God damn it. Let's try again. Yay! Let there be light. So hello to our 2 viewers who are watching. Feel free to type stuff in the chat if you can and want to and stuff. I can see it. I don't think the other players can, but you never know. I might read it out if I'm feeling generous. I don't actually know where to go from here. I'm gonna think of something quick. What haven't we blown up in the corporation universe yet?
The other corporations.
Australia.
Yeah.
It's all stuff on Earth. Because I think we basically killed all the big satellites. Oh, you didn't blow up the moon, and there is the opportunity to do that. But you have been there. We've done enough stuff on the moon. Got at least something in space, I suppose, for the next generation. So how are you finding it, new guy? Welcome to the group, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Very enjoyable. Yeah, it's a little bit tamer this time.
Tamer? Just killed several billion people.
Several billion. Heck. If he was in London during this period.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like 25th century or something, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of damage.
Britain has long since recovered from Brexit. Actually, I just need to pop back AFK for a moment.
Okay.
I just wonder
What's that?
if anyone watching right now or in times future, when they start watching this, if there will be anyone who will actually watch this video and go, who is that new guy?
Yes. Have to grow back then.
What we should really do, of course, is I should shave my beard and moustache and everything off. You should keep clean shaven, and we should have a session where you and I are clean shaven, and Jason and Becky have beards.
Yeah,
let's just subvert everything.
Swap it around.
So we just come up with something there, Becky. Just to completely help subvert things. I think at some point I should shave off my beard and moustache as well, and Phil and I should be clean shaven for a session, and you and Jason should have beards. Let's subvert all the let's subvert it all.
Thank you. Broken Becky there. Where are we going to get some of these hit points back? Glad we haven't always been shooting at us.
I can't do a beard, but what I do have is this, some unicorn snot lip gloss. So...
Sake.
We do have some mascara.
Well,
We'll just use
I
that.
have this to hand.
I don't even want to.
I can't open the door to get tissue.
We'll take your headphones off.
Shall I get some tissue?
Please.
Okay, this falls under the purview of Becky. Didn't think this one fully through. It was a nice idea, but wasn't totally thought through.
No, I have tissue. Don't tell him.
Bathrooms and nothing.
My hands are very glittery.
I don't think that's where it's supposed to go.
No. Damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I was thinking more of the sort of Monty Python Life of Brian, you know, with the false beard things. You know, that, are there any women here today?
Is that what that stuff's called? Is it unicorn snot?
That is what it is called, yes.
Oh, it is as well. Good grief.
I kind of regret doing that. It's very slimy. Now I have a glistening face.
So we now have a situation where our viewers are now going to be wondering, what was the highlight of today's session? Was it the total destruction of London, or was it Becky having her face covered in unicorn snot? And how many game sessions do you know that would ever use the words unicorn snot?
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, folks.
I certainly have quite a specular sheen to my face at the moment as it catches the light. Right then, onwards. I have no idea where this is going. Now, we actually have a choice here. Oh god, now my jeans are glittered. We actually have a choice here in terms of where you want this campaign to go. Like, do we want to start wrapping things up and tying all the loose ends together, or do you want to gallivant off into another section of adventure? Because we've just kind of finished that whole segment, and so now I could just tie things up, or we could go off and blow up Australia.
There is a part of me that there's a little part of me that has said, you know, we've been round the merry-go-round here, and you know, I'm going to jump off, but there's a big part of me that says, I want to blow up Australia first.
If you want to run it, I'll play it.
Fuck it. I want revenge for Neighbours and Home and Away. I want revenge for Jason and Kylie.
Right then. Now, you're back to that big auditorium-like room with all the people watching you. And so, according to your testimony, you were completely unaware that the airship, as you call it, would strike the Miller-Urey research station, and that this was in fact an accident. May I remind you that you are under oath? So, was it actually an accident?
Yes, it was.
Totally.
So through your negligence, 10 billion people died.
No. Negligence would presume a presumptive act. Accident is when something happens whether you want it to or not. You know,
Well, if
as
you
we found out from Hitler, sometimes shit just does happen.
If you didn't want it to happen, you could have informed the Nazis that in the hundreds of years since they'd been on Earth, there was space debris.
Well, we found ourselves in a difficult situation. We found ourselves up against a mentality we had never come across, except at higher management level.
Yes, I'm still a little bit confused as to why you wanted to kill this Hitler fellow.
Because he preferred coffee.
Right. That
In
was
fact,
your
I think.
reason.
In fact, I think his exact words were, "Tea sucks."
You are aware that this is an international tribunal.
Well, I think
I'm sure the translators will be able to deal with the myriad of languages and translate "tea sucks."
I just got so much bloody snot on my face.
Unicorn snot, not to be sneezed at.
I still have one of those unicorn candles, by the way, just in case we need to do another countdown.
I think we weren't intending it on Hitler coming back to Earth at all. We wanted him to crash back onto the moon, but obviously he had other ideas himself.
You realise you are basically confessing to murder of a man, as far as we can see, should be held up as an idol.
Actually,
he was fairly idle.
Actually, I would like to state that we are completely innocent of murder.
Yes, just attempted murder.
Actually, no. As the historical figure Adolf Hitler died in 1945, we couldn't possibly have killed him in our present day and age. Therefore, as he was already dead, as far as the history books were concerned, we therefore cannot be held accountable for his murder or attempted murder. He did commit suicide.
Right, there's just two flaws with your argument. Firstly, Churchill's notes on the actual history before it was rewritten, and the fact that Hitler is in the audience tonight.
Actually, that's not Hitler. That's Jason Grun. He's an actor who's impersonating Hitler. To cause divisions between ourselves and Starbucks.
Yes, this is why I've been struggling with your testimony so much. Now, the other part I'd like to look at, that I'm really confused about. When you got out of the hospital and you returned to corporate headquarters, you mentioned something of a dressing down with the CEO. and your mind casts back to the time that you returned to EI's head office to speak to the CEO to deliver the Queen. And there you are, outside the door in the waiting room, all three of you with Her Majesty. The intercom buzzes. Come in. And you say this gentleman will give me my country to run?
I'm sure he will give you exactly what you've got coming to you.
It is
Fantastic.
Sometimes you just got to go for the low blow.
You enter the room. Of course, it is excessively wood panelled.
Would be.
Yes. Gentlemen, I'm confused as to why you made this appointment to deliver the princess, queen, whatever. I know it was your mission, but you blew up fucking London.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
I
was nothing
sold London. That was my retirement. The whole thing about the Queen was an extra sale that the customer wanted to run London.
Well, actually, the customer will be able to make a fortune.
Run
He
that
can
by
claim-
me again.
Well, you managed to secure your retirement by selling London. He'll be able to claim on the insurance. That'll get him a tiny profit. He'll probably make back most of his money. He can
Who
use
do you
that to
think
buy another
owns the
city.
fucking insurance companies. I
Are you
do.
trying to?
So we've spotted a slight flaw in your plan.
Slight flaw. Small but significant flaw.
No one said anything about keeping London intact to us.
Why would I expect the city to be destroyed? Anyway,
No one
you
expected-
don't need
well-
her now. The customer pulled out. You'll have to put her back.
Put her back.
With respect, we were acting under royal assent. Or more importantly, royal descent.
I have no idea what you are referring to. I'm the only royalty you should worry about.
You want us to put her back into 1940?
We took her out of 1940. How hard can it be?
You wouldn't believe.
Well, it's either that or do something with her. Get rid of her. I
That
know.
we can do.
Send her
could.
off to Australia with all the convicts or something.
Send it to Australia.
Well, I don't know. Just not in my office.
Well, I suppose we could send us somewhere remote.
The Australian Free State exists outside of the rest of our corporate structures. They're all nobodies. There's no boats, no planes. It's the perfect place to dump her, where we don't have to worry about her ever again.
Right. I'm sure we can do that.
All I wanted to do was sell tea.
I told you this before. You work for Eurasian Incorporated now. I'm the CEO, and you are very, very disappointing.
Well, this retrieving princesses from the past is not our forte. T is where we're at.
As far as I can tell, you're the only people to have ever done it. I'd say I got the right people. Just stop blowing up my fucking capitals. Now, dump her in Australia and report back to the bloody tea company.
Head out the office.
Take one of my private jets.
Ooh.
Just get it done. It sends you off.
Mm.
And so, you are on one of his private jets, heading to Australia. And, amazingly, for the first time in your life, it goes without a hitch.
Ooh. Where's the minibar?
Right up until landing. How should we have the plane destroyed?
Oh, Metronic.
I have a great idea. Let's have the plane destroyed when we're not in it.
So you're coming into land, and the pilot comes on the radio. I need a hand up here. Something's gone wrong.
Okay, rush to the front and bang on the door. I mean,
The door opens and we need
what's going wrong?
We need you to get down to the undercarriage, force it open, get the wheels down manually, then get to the back of the plane and extend the parachute ready for landing. You'll have to release it manually. We'll call over the intercom when to release it. The runway is too short to land, the undercarriage isn't working, and the parachute mechanism won't deploy.
Right, okay.
Just wanted to sell tea.
It's almost like somebody doesn't want you back. But I am a loyal employee. I don't blow up cities.
We didn't blow the city up.
Listen,
Your faces have been all over the news media for months.
I sort of give the pilot a sort of compassionate tap on the shoulder and say, listen, I don't know what it was you did to piss off your boss, but it must have been something.
Get to the bloody undercarriage!
All right. How'd you get down to the undercarriage?
You'll have to take up the floor in the passenger cabin.
Okay.
It's not a user serviceable component.
Right.
Not as long
I
as-
say two of us deal with the undercarriage. The other one goes back to the parachute.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who's getting the short straw?
we can gloss over all of this, the details of it. This is not that important. Basically, you've all got to pass an intelligence plus mechatronics roll.
You mean an intelligence roll?
You mean an intelligence roll?
Yeah. Basically.
I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry.
Death by Metronics.
It's the only thing I'm gonna roll.
Great.
Well, I hope you're happy.
Oh,
Yes.
you got double 9.
Because I made it on one dice.
It's not a critical fail, but it's damn close.
13. So missed by 5.
Yeah. So the good news is
I missed by 10.
right. The good news is that owing to a technicality of the English language, the plane does land. Most of it in New South Wales.
Oh god.
And so it is that you find yourself coming to a few days later in mangled wreckage. The pilot, of course, is dead because we need to get rid of him. But the Queen isn't. You know, she's still alive.
The
There's
very definition of sheer dumb luck.
You're in a very desert-like environment, and over the hills you can hear what sounds like a petrol engine and a dust cloud visible over the hills. There's some shrubbery around, but it's kind of deserty. And you see some buildings. They look long since, turned to rubble. Just a couple of exterior walls. The petrol engine you hear gets louder and louder, and you hear it revving as it bounces over sand dunes and comes hurtling toward you. Oh, you're awake! Fantastic! There wasn't any food, so I cooked the pilot. Would you like some?
That was your Asian employee.
Okay.
You can't cook him.
I grab a finger or whatever she's holding and just start munching on it.
Anybody else?
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, suit yourself. Don't come to me when you die of hunger.
Well, there must be somewhere around here you can take us now.
What? Take you?
Yes.
Well, we're in Australia, aren't we? I do own it.
The whole thing.
Oh, yes, I'm the Queen.
Ah,
We blew up London, so Daddy'll be long dead.
but I don't know if you still own Australia. It's been some time.
Only a couple of weeks.
Why do I get the feeling?
Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this vehicle that's appeared.
Okay, it looks to be some kind of beach buggy. It's kind of got framework and a big engine, and two people, a driver, and somebody sat behind a gun mounted on top of the frame.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
They look straight
Fuck
out of
it.
Mad Max.
I was about
Yeah.
to say it's fucking Mad Max.
I shout, dive, and get round by the wreckage out of sight.
Yeah, I'll pull the Queen down as well.
No, wait! The leg's still on the fire. You'll overcook it.
Well, you can go and get it, but you might end up with a few holes in you.
No, very well.
Actually, what am I doing? Shoot her.
I turn to you at this point and just say, it is taking all my strength not to just whip out my gun and shoot the picture. At this juncture.
The buggy slows up as it approaches the wreckage of the plane, and you hide. The fire, of course, is still burning, with the pilot over it. Well, part of the pilot over it. The top half of him is just kind of laying down beside the fire uncooked, but his legs are well cooked. She doesn't know how to butcher.
Dear me.
At least he can finally have a final rating of well done.
G'day, mates, shouts the driver.
Hello, old chap.
Good day to you too, mate.
God damn, you're from one of them corporations. You ain't supposed to be here.
Well, we are.
I see you got a Barbie going.
Would you like
Yeah. Do you want some?
No, thanks. We ain't barbarians.
Neither are we. We're calling this particular meat Flight of Fancy.
Right, well, good luck and all, because, this ain't exactly a place to make your own, you know?
No, we've been stuck here for 4 days. We crashed.
Well, I suppose that's the good news. You lasted 4 days.
And the bad news?
You won't last any longer.
Why not?
There's a creature in the desert. Nasty bugger.
It's not a great big bloody boar, is
Crocodile.
it? Oh, bugger.
Well, just give us a ride somewhere then. That'll be rectified.
Too many of you for this, but you probably want to head south, I'd say. Probably closest civilization to you, as the crow flies.
How far
Well,
away
listen.
are they?
Ah, you should be out of here if... Well, your odds of survival ain't great, I've gotta say. But listen, seeing as you know, fit out the sky and stuff, you've probably got no idea what the big croc's like. Sorry, mates.
Well, I did actually see a stuffed crocodile one time. I think it was in Dundee.
Yeah, this one's
Jesus.
radioactive.
A radioactive crocodile in a desert.
Well, yeah, where else you gonna put it? Well, good luck and all. Sorry,
How many?
I gotta go
how many-
now. It's been chasing us for a couple of days and I kinda led it this way. Didn't know you was there. Bye. Thanks for the decoy.
Excellent.
Right, you hear a loud thud.
Mm-hmm.
From the north.
Cool, okay, south he was telling the truth, so yeah, let's go.
Do we have access to sort of like satellite pictures or anything?
There's no corporations out here.
Anything on the data pad? Map?
Searching for connection. Please enable Wi-Fi.
Oh, balls.
Surely there's not just Wi-Fi everywhere now? Or is it everywhere but Australia?
Yeah. Australia and France.
Oh, God. 4G?
You know, it's a few minutes later as you're already heading south. You hear the second thud. The ground kind of shakes. You see sand move on the surface.
It doesn't seem to be moving that fast.
You look around and you can see on the horizon the top of maybe a planet, judging by the curvature. Just seeing the top, you know, the very, very top. It's taking up a
Gents-
large part of the horizon.
Gentlemen, whilst I am usually one for a casual stroll in such lovely conditions, might I perhaps suggest a slightly more brisk pace?
Yep,
Um,
I'm happy
in
with
fact,
that.
without putting too fine a point on it, might I suggest that we leg it.
Is there some kind of emergency detachable thing on the plane?
Good idea. And you know who would know that?
Pilot.
The pilot.
No. You know, somebody who sort of understands that kind of stuff. You know, like that pastor intelligence plus spectronics role. If you want to make an intelligence plus spectronics roll, I'm sorry, it's just trolling now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Look, my face is covered in unicorn snot and I'm allowed to get... And my hand, everything is glitter. Oh my god.
You know, if we do make it, it's going to be in the shape of a raft or something.
I failed.
Why do I even bother?
Alright, you find a medium range transmitter, but for it to work you're going to need to get it up very high and boost the signal with something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A second thud comes crashing down, and now you can see the back of this crocodile. It's the size of a city. It's still several miles, dozens of miles even away, and it's large.
Damn. Where's the space station? We need one.
Yeah. Let's try and boost this signal then.
Okay.
Oh, could you get on top of it? We'd have enough height.
I think it needs to go a bit higher than that.
Oh no, because as you run away from it for the rest of the day, it's actually been catching you as hours have gone by, and by the time it's getting quite close, the only thing you can see is the head, because it's just so big it's blocking out everything behind you. I mean, the head is basically bigger than Croydon.
What's it chasing us for? That's what I don't understand. It's not going to get in.
As it gets quite close, that buggy comes back with the two people on it. They're laughing their heads off at you.
We can at least take pot shots at them.
It's the it's the two cameramen with a lion, isn't it?
Huh?
There's the joke about the two cameramen filming lions in the Serengeti plain,
Right.
and the lions start roaring and get more and more agitated, and eventually one of the cameramen takes off his work boots and puts on the Nike running shoes, and his pal turns to him and says, "You'll never outrun a lion in that." He says, "Fuck a lion, as long as I outrun you, I'm alright." And that's what we've been subjected to here.
No, not quite. The frame buggy thing, this V8, whatever it is actually just driving around the front of the crocodile. It's apparent that it's a forward scout. This crocodile is made of metal. It appears to be an inhabited city, and the forward scout just made you run for shits and giggles, and they're laughing hysterically at you. You on there, run, little fella. See if you can avoid the barbecue.
I blow up their radiator with my gun.
And the crocodile's mouth opens, and you see within it searing hot flames are building inside. And at that, as Xerxes aims his shot at the radiator, as the crocodile apparently is about to belch fire at you, we will end the session for this week.
Damn!
half dragon, half giant crocodile.
Yeah, Crocodile City.
Excellent.
It's a mobile city. Just it's shaped like a crocodile because they're Australians, and you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. So,
Oh my god. Well, I think we managed to keep it fairly family friendly. There was the occasional F word.
Yeah.
There's this one's staying. No, it's not gone adult rated for once.
No, obviously Becky toned it down for the new guy.
Yeah.
Don't want to scare him off first session.
Yeah, got to build up to it. Alright, well, to our two people who have been watching the whole time, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And if that was Fiona and Maxine, hi.
Oh, you've got two of them now. Polyamorous.
Hardly. That Maxine's her daughter.
Oh. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm just going to end the stream there. Bye. Oh fuck no, I just started streaming that to Facebook Live.